Hey everyone, I'm Scott Allen Miller. This is Sheep Guarding Llama, and it is the 3rd of May 2020. And I decided to stand up and walk around for a change just because I do the same thing all the time. And it is so beautiful outside. It's just a great time to come out and enjoy the weather a little bit and get a little fresh air and let Mia do her running around. And of course, the neighbors, Mia's friends, love to call her. She has gotten so good, she never barks back to them anymore. She still whimpers and barks at the squirrels, but not the dogs. She's been so good about that. It's amazing. Now, right now, as what happens is the tree I'm under and the tree down there, let's see, so this tree to this tree are connected by a roof and fence line, and the squirrels love to go up there, taunt the dog, and run back and forth, and it drives her bananas. She mostly ignores the dogs barking at her. She does wish she could talk to them, but she's over it. So anyway, last night, just watched some more Kara and Nate. That's all Dominica and I really did for the evening. We did fried clams for dinner, which were delicious, and French fries. Now that we have the new commercial fryer, it's a small commercial fryer, but it's a commercial tabletop fryer. So Paul is hardcore into frying everything. So we've been doing fried shrimp, which he and the kids had last night, fried clams, which Dominica and I had last night. He has his own style of French fries, which he does. He now has a McDonald's style of French fries that he does that really mimics McDonald's quite a bit, but without the beef, which is nice. And we do a lot of fried fish for fish fries, but last night that's what we had, and that was really good. We watched a little Voyager, and then Kara and Nate binge all night, which is awesome because it is getting Dominica in the mood to get out and traveling again. She's had a little bit of enjoying being at home for several months, and sometimes, she gets burned out or whatever and wants to enjoy having a house. But that is starting to wear off. So I'm always ready to go. So it's nice. We're binging the show just like we used to binge Rick Steves in 2011, and it really got us ready to start our 2012 through kind of 2017 streak of traveling. And we've all done some traveling since then, but not a ton. But we are all itching to get on the road except for Liesel. Liesel really would like to just stay. That's her thing. She likes being places. She really enjoys a lot of what we do. She hates flying and traveling and just all the logistics of getting there. Luciana is begging to get back out on the road. She's like, as soon as COVID is over, she doesn't call it that, but she knows what's going on. As soon as the pandemic's over, she wants to go. She wants to see Mexico. She wants to see Japan. She wants to see South America. She's got all these places she wants to go, and she's very interested and just excited to get out. She doesn't really care where we go, but she does have, Japan's really high on her list, and Mexico, she's been asking for Mexico for those who watch the channel. And Paul and I are just ready to go. But finally, Dominica's into that groove, and she's starting to look at locations and think about places we can go. We've got a couple things up in the air that, doesn't mean we're going to go to Europe, doesn't mean we're going to go to Central America. We don't really know. And obviously dealing with Mia is a big piece of our decision making, as well as jobs being a big piece of our decision making. So all of that is a factor, and we just don't know what's going to happen with any of those things yet. But we have potentially 1 or more months of COVID pandemic yet to deal with, maybe many months. It could be 6 months, it could be 6 weeks, we don't know. So we're definitely not traveling during that time, but we just have to kind of wait and see what's going to happen. So we have been keeping an eye on what flights are going on and stuff, and it looks like most of the airlines are posting international travel again in July. So that means they're doing a certain amount of research and believe that things are going to be open by then. We probably don't want to travel that soon, but you're just keeping an eye on things. What is interesting is we have noticed that flights to Nicaragua are now below $90. It's like between $78 and $86 to get down there. And flights to South America are now in the high 90s, but under $100, obviously one way. That's pretty crazy, considering you're flying to another continent. There's just a lot of fuel involved. Obviously fuel is free these days, but still it's a crazy amount of hours in a plane to be talking about a $98 flight. We did look going from I think New York or maybe Newark over to Iceland was $145 one way, and I think Ireland is down to $110 out of Logan. So there's some pretty crazy cheap options going on once the summer hits. So we'll see. We're looking at a lot of things. Obviously, Iceland and Ireland aren't really on our radar. They're just things we looked at because of stuff we were watching or whatever. So this morning, because that was really all the second. Today, on the 3rd, we got up and Dominica talked Liesel into watching The Labyrinth this morning. Believe it or not, she's never seen it. Luciana watched about half of it. She gave it a try, decided, and she just doesn't like movies. She especially doesn't like old movies, and it just wasn't her. She really did try. I made popcorn for everybody, but she just couldn't hang. Liesel enjoyed it. She actually liked the movie. She didn't rave about it, but she liked it, and Dominica was very excited to be able to watch it with her. And then after that, Dominica and Paul ran out to do some errands, trying to get some more like pallets and stuff. Then Liesel and I watched The Three Caballeros, which I have not seen in forever. And she mostly remembered, but was like, I kind of remember this, but I can't totally remember it. So we watched those two movies together. And then when that was done, Dominica and I did some gardening. We had done a bunch of gardening, which I talked about on the video 2 weeks ago. And it looks like pretty much all those seeds died. We don't know if like the approach didn't work, if the Texas heat just cooked them, if they weren't moist enough. We don't know. We can't figure out. It's a total. I've never tried to do it in plastic bags with paper towels before, so I have no idea why that didn't work. I don't know what was expected. I just don't know. Dominica said the things she read said it could take up to like 2 weeks to do anything. Paul and I are like 2 weeks. Should have them in like cups and like do it in soil. You have like 3 days. So we replanted a bunch of the seeds that way, and we planted a bunch of new seeds that way, and we're going to see what happens. But we did that. That was probably an hour this afternoon. And right now, Dominica is working on school prep stuff for the kids for this week. They got a bunch of new workbooks that came in, I think, last night. Liesel's new Spanish workbook, for example, it just arrived. So she's never had a workbook for that. She's got a video class that she just started. They've been doing Duolingo, and Luciana's on, like, I want to say, she missed one by like 5 minutes. So her streak on drops says like 35 days, but her actual streak of having done it every day that she's been awake, like, you know, like timing it by day, not by midnight to midnight, is got to be pushing 90 days at this point, that she has not missed a single day of working on her Spanish. So her vocabulary is really coming along, like really great. Liesel has not been doing much of anything with that. She used to do Duolingo, but now she's doing the class. So we'll see how each of them do with the different approaches that we're doing. But Liesel felt that she wanted a workbook for Spanish to do with the class, so we got one, and I looked at it. It looks pretty cool, so I'm happy with what content is in there. So we'll see how she likes that when she starts with that tomorrow. And that's pretty much it. It's mid-afternoon. Wanted to get the video done kind of early today, so I have sunlight, and it was quiet, but right as I'm saying this, Paul just came outside, so is watching me do the video, which is always weird. It's weird doing a video for you when there's someone watching me, but when you do travel videos, everybody's watching you, so it's kind of the normal. Mia is just enjoying the weather so much because it is so nice. It's probably like 80 out here. It feels warm, but it's not like hot at the moment. So I will talk to everyone tomorrow.